so what we've done is we've said, here's all the shortcomings of the GM sensor. Everyone in the performance world makes really more power than that thing that was designed. We're just going to start offering basically global solution. All fuel system stuff in one place.
I want to talk about this a little bit. I know you've been working on some new stuff with AFD and working on this new sensor. Working on the new sensor. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, and I mean, really, flex fuel, and it doesn't matter how high end you go. A Motec on a 3,000 horsepower Huracan still uses the GM sensor to date, which has been available for since the 90s.
Yeah.
It is majorly outdated technology. There's supply chain issues. There's talk of them not making it anymore. And when we've been part of the discussion of how many need to be made because they're making enough, we buy a huge percentage of what's made. I'll put it that way. Yeah, when I'm not buying them anymore, I don't know what that's going to look like as far as production goes. But yeah, so what we've done is we've said, here's all the shortcomings of the GM sensor, and one of them being it's designed for a car that makes 200 horsepower. Everyone in the performance world makes really more power than that thing that was designed to do. It doesn't flow a lot, and I know there's some tests out there, and you can get them to flow, but still not a lot, and they cavitate and it generates heat inside. There's all kinds of issues where we just said, you know what, we need to make our own sensor. We've developed a lot of products, and I figured, oh yeah, we'll get this done. There's some new stuff to it, developing a sensor rather than different kinds of hardware we've done in the past. So it's taken years longer than I anticipated to get this done. So this car is running a sensor right now. We're still making some updates at the time of making this video, but I feel like we're getting really close. Close as in this car runs on it and it's fine and I trust it. But as far as consumer grade or OE grade for some of our clients, it needs to be dialed exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, our sensor is going to be way easier to install than the GM sensor. With the universal interface, it'll be able to accept AN fittings and all the different size quick connects. So we already have all that stuff made, ready to go on the shelf. So I'm just dialing in software right now, really. Currently, the GM sensor's got a male fitting on each side and a small male fitting at that. So to install it in anything, you need to make a bunch of adapters or lines or whatever to get it installed. You wind up with a very large piece. There are companies out there that are making what I call a bypass. So it's two clamshells that go around a sensor and allows fuel to flow through. And so those allow you to use the sensor but not restrict flow. But then again, you're adding something this big into your fuel line somewhere to have fittings on either end to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so literally our block is 1 inch wide. And you can have whatever fittings you need, a male on one side, female on the other, and it'll flow more than those bypasses. So it'll flow a -12 straight through it with no restriction. We've solved the flow issue. We've updated all the technology in the sensor as far as accuracy goes, and the range it can actually operate in. Everything that we saw as a downside to the GM sensor, we have fixed. We've made it, motorsport grade. Currently they're billet instead of this, plastic clamshell looking thing. And with the interchangeable fittings, you could have a sensor and get a different car. You can use that same sensor, just throw some different fittings on it. Basically, it's going to fit anything. Super easy to install, and it's not going to have the same restrictions that the GM sensor has. So it's the only thing people modify a car and they go,
I'm going to put this old part from an Impala on my car.
No one builds a GTR and goes, yeah, I want that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we built the sensor that you're going to want to put on your car to run E85. Well, so here's the thing. We talk about the water testers. They're within 20-25% accurate. The GM sensor is within 5-ish. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot more accurate than the water sensor, but it's still, we get sensors in 1,000 at a time. And if I put them all on the bench, they're close to each other, but they're not all the same. And part of that goes into the manufacturing. That's the thing is the function of them works pretty well, but they're not manufactured to a tight enough tolerance to all be the same.
Yeah.
And that's another part of our sensor, they're all machined to exact tolerances. So we can have a repeatable, figure. So that's just part of it. There's so many aspects we got into it that just were oh, and this, and oh, and this, and oh, and this. And I thought it was just oh yeah, we'll make a circuit board and, it'll measure some stuff and boom, sensor. And it's so much more complex than that. But yeah, no, it's going to be great. We're giving the aftermarket something that they want. There's literally no aftermarket sensor currently. We're making it.
And I think the implications on OE is massive too. What's to say that they're not going to want to be hey, why don't we use this just...
That bridge is basically crossed. We just have to finalize the testing.
Yeah.
All the other tests that we go through for those. Hey, Christian, we want to put it on Koenigsegg's too. I honestly don't know why more of them don't embrace, Koenigsegg is there, but like, why would you not just have it be flex fuel? It makes no sense. When I think about it, really what Advanced Fuel Dynamics is doing is we're going to offer fuel system solutions. E85 has been our core, but there's so much that supports that. So that's why we're offering injectors and fuel pumps. Not everything we do is on our website. I think we're going to be expanding that soon to offer, to a broader base to really see everything we do. But because we just see the huge advantages in running, E85, at least, in the aftermarket, context performance world, we're just going to start offering basically global solutions for fuel systems. So it doesn't matter if you're running a 115 horsepower Miata or a 3,000 horsepower Viper, we want to be able to support everything to be able to do that with everything from E85 to pump gas to Q16, just all fuel system stuff in one place. I think there's a lot of businesses that, obviously, like in the tuning world, it's highly competitive. We see that in our business. It really was never something I got into to compete with tuners. I got into it with our initial product line to, with the more of a mindset of as like a supplier to give the industry like a leg up, a new way to do things. And we've had a lot of pushback on that. And so we really want to give the whole market a leg up and to be able to use E85. Race cars are cool. And what I would say is, E85 tune to me is for a race car. We wanted to be able to make an E85 use as a daily thing and not have those drawbacks, right?
You've told me this before. High tides rise all ships.
That's exactly it. That's what we're trying to do here. To see E85 like all over the place. I mean, the station numbers have been growing. We see some closing too. I want to see the ethanol-free gas, your other grades, and E85 at the same thing. That's what
Where can people find ProFlex Commanders and Flex Links for their vehicles?
Yeah, so our website, advancedfueldynamics.com, you can find all our flex fuel products on there. You can also find supporting products like injectors and fuel pumps as well.
Anything else? Any other final thoughts, Ryan?
I'm just thinking I want to go back out there and do more donuts.